What is up, everybody? It is JT Sports. I'm back to you guys with another 7-round mock draft. This time I'm here with my Miami Dolphins 2021 7-round mock draft. This is my second mock draft this offseason so far for the Miami Dolphins. And the reason why I had to make a second mock draft is because, like the previous other mock drafts for the Bengals and the Falcons, I did these mock drafts before free agency took place. Now that free agency took place and now that free agency is over, I have to make a second mock draft to reflect what happened during NFL free agency. So before I get into it, make sure that you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video with your friends, family, and acquaintances because it helps spread the word of JT Sports. Also, make sure to turn on post notifications so you don't miss a new video. So for the Miami Dolphins, wide receiver, offensive line could be a need. You still have to address the halfback position. You also got to add some talent at linebacker as well. Probably a safety wouldn't hurt neither. So make sure that you guys check out my other 7-round mock drafts for the previous other teams. I'm going to be doing these for all 32 NFL teams. And with the Miami Dolphins' first pick of this year's NFL draft, I have them taking wide receiver out of LSU, JAMAR Chase, 6th overall. JAMAR Chase is regarded as the best wide receiver prospect in this year's draft class. I think it's 1A and 1B between him and Devontae Smith, but you can't go wrong with either of them guys with this selection at 6. Now, I ideally think that the Miami Dolphins are trying to get Penny Sewell, which is the reason why I believe that they traded back into the top 10. Or they're either trying to position themselves to get JAMAR Chase or Devontae Smith. But either way, they position themselves to be back in the top 10 for a reason. Now, if Penny Sewell is off the board, then I think it's most likely that they end up going JAMAR Chase. JAMAR Chase is a physical specimen. He has great size, incredible speed as well. And you need to give Tua some more weapons to work with on the outside. Now, you did sign wide receiver Will Fuller, but here's the thing about Will Fuller. Will Fuller is a Pro Bowl caliber wide receiver when he's on the field. But one thing about Will Fuller is that somehow, some way, he's never really on the field. Even last year when he was having the best season of his pro career, he ended up getting suspended for the last couple of games of the season due to, PEDs and whatnot. So you look at JAMAR Chase, now you have Devontae Parker on the one side, you have JAMAR Chase lined up on the other side. You have two physical wide receivers who can go up and get it, who also have pretty good speed as well. On top of that, you could end up lining up Will Fuller in the slot. You can end up having one of the better wide receiving cores in the NFL if you end up selecting JAMAR Chase. But I also wouldn't be mad if they ended up selecting Slater out of Northwestern as well, the offensive tackle out of Northwestern. He can play both left tackle and right tackle as well. But if I was the general manager for the Miami Dolphins, JAMAR Chase would be my pick, 6th overall. Moving on to their second first-round selection, 18th overall, I have them selecting halfback NAJEE Harris out of Alabama. Now, pretty much, I think the Miami Dolphins are going to take a halfback in the first round. It's either going to be between NAJEE Harris or Travis Etienne, and I can see it being either one because when you look at Travis Etienne, he's a speed back. It looks like Miami has tried to go after speed backs over the last couple of years. They signed Matt Breida off season ago, didn't really pan out how they expected it. So I wouldn't be surprised they went Travis Etienne, but also I wouldn't be surprised if they go NAJEE Harris because I think NAJEE Harris is the best halfback in this draft, okay? He is the most complete back when it comes to being able to pass protect, when it comes to being able to catch the ball out of the backfield. You also can line him up out wide as well. He can do damage out wide. He also is a really patient runner, waits for the blocks to develop. He's also powerful as well. I think NAJEE Harris, if you're talking about a complete back that you can leave on the field on third down and everything, NAJEE Harris is your guy. My pro comparison for NAJEE Harris is probably Le'Veon Bell. I think he's the closest thing we've seen to Le'Veon Bell in a very long time in terms of what he's able to do, and his wide receiving ability is also very underrated as well. There were several instances this past year for Alabama that they had him line up out wide and he was doing damage, matched up against linebackers, matched up against safeties. So don't underrate NAJEE Harris' ability when it comes to being able to be a critical factor in the passing game, which is why I think NAJEE Harris is the best halfback in this year's draft class. You can line him out wide. He also is very good in pass protection. He's a very patient runner. I think NAJEE Harris should be the first halfback taken off the board, which is why I think he goes 18th overall to the Miami Dolphins. Moving on to round 2, 36th overall, linebacker JABRIL Cox out of LSU is one of my favorite prospects in this year's draft class. This dude reminds me exactly of linebacker for the Atlanta Falcons, Deion Jones. This guy is essentially a safety slash defensive back playing linebacker. This dude can cover slot receivers. He can cover the middle of the field. He can sometimes cover tight ends. I mean, this dude can do it all. Not only that, but he's also very good against the run. You can send him off the edge on blitz packages. I think if you're head coach Brian Flores and you're the general manager for the Miami Dolphins and JABRIL Cox is still on the board, 36 overall, you cannot pass on this guy. This guy has potential to end up being one of the best linebackers in the NFL. He is your prototypical modern day linebacker. He can cover the middle of the field. He can cover tight ends. He can cover wide receivers in the slot. He's pretty much a safety playing linebacker, but he's also very good when it comes to being able to make plays behind the line of scrimmage as well. So I think JABRIL Cox, if he's on the board, if you're Miami, there's no way you should pass on him. And if you are a Miami Dolphins fan and you get JABRIL Cox, you should already go ahead and order you a JABRIL Cox jersey, because I assure you he is going to become a fan favorite player really quickly, because he's going to make a lot of plays in that Brian Flores defense. With their second round selection, 50th overall, I have them selecting the offensive tackle slash offensive guard, Alex Leatherwood. Now, it still remains to be seen if he can be off the tackle at the NFL level. At the Senior Bowl, you know, he kind of got exposed a little bit when he was at off the tackle, but you know, with his size and his athleticism, if he doesn't work out at OT, then you can easily move him to offensive guard. I think he should be pretty good at guard or tackle, either one. I think Alex Leatherwood would definitely provide some more talent, some more depth on that offensive line for the Miami Dolphins. In the third round, 82nd overall, I have them selecting safety James Wiggins. James Wiggins is probably my second favorite safety in this draft class. He's 6 foot, 205 pounds. This guy is explosive. He is an incredible athlete. He has great speed plus strength as well. He is going to be a defensive back that is dramatically going to make an impact in the run game. You know, this day and age in the NFL, we're starting to see more and more defensive backs, more safeties, more corners who are great coverage guys, but yet they don't want to get dirty and nasty when it comes to trying to make a tackle. James Wiggins, you don't have to worry about that. This guy is downhill. This guy reminds me similar of a little bit of a bigger version of Bob Sanders with, you know, what he's able to do when it comes to making an impact in the run game. This guy is not afraid to crash down and make a big tackle on a running back. On top of that, this guy is a ball hawk with great range. This guy is also coming off a torn ACL in 2019. He bounced back tremendously in 2020. I personally think he can end up being one of the biggest steals of the draft if the Miami Dolphins are able to get him around this time in the third round. And you're also getting a guy who should be able to start day one for the Miami Dolphins at that safety position. In the fifth round, 157th overall, I have them taking the offensive guard David Moore out of Grambling State. Now, I don't really know, you know, what you're really getting out of David Moore. I don't know if he's more of a developmental prospect or if he is a guy who would come and start day one, because there's not really a lot of film I can find on him from Grambling. But from what I've heard, he has great size. He's 6'2", 350 pounds. He has a powerful, strong upper body. He's light and quick on his feet. He's also really inconsistent when it comes to picking up blitzes. And on top of that, you know, he had inconsistent performances against, you know, lower tail competition. So the size is there. The physical upside is there. He has potential to end up being one of the better guards in the NFL. The question is, you know, how long is it going to take for him to get acclimated to, you know, picking up blitz packages, and also where you get more consistent play out of him on the pro level with better coaching. That remains to be seen. 7th round, 232nd overall, have edge rusher DAELIN Haynes going to the Miami Dolphins. DAELIN Haynes has, you know, the physical tools, physical upside. He is a great leader. He was voted team captain by Notre Dame. Now, he is 6'4", 253 pounds. He's great at avoiding pulling guards. He also got dominated against Alabama and Clemson. He also has a lack of pass rush moves as well. So if you're drafting DAELIN Haynes, you're pretty much getting a guy who You're trying to see, you know, what upside, what potential he possibly has, because the athleticism is there and the physical traits are there, but can you teach this guy some pass rush moves? Okay, he can be a pretty good staple in the running game as well, but the question is he going to be able to make it to the roster, or is he going to end up being a guy who ends up filling off a couple of spots on your practice squad? Don't really know, but that's the kind of players that you're expecting at this part of the NFL draft. And for the last pick of the draft, I have them selecting linebacker Riley Cole out of the University of Southern Alabama. He isn't really that great in coverage, which is something that, you know, it's a little bit of concern, because he's 6'2", 242. In this day and age of the NFL, you want your linebackers to be able to cover. He's good getting in the backfield, but he has lackluster coverage skills. He also has short aerial quickness as well, so he'll probably also be a guy who'll probably be a special teams contributor, maybe a backup at best. So this is it for my Miami Dolphins 2021 7th round mock draft 2.0. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comment section down below. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe